Welcome LearnWake members. This is Brandon Judd responding to a video analysis request uploaded by user tom62890. And this is on a toe side jump and then some heel side front side 360 attempts. And in the description down here, it looks like you're looking for some more stability on your toe side jump and then some tips on how to land that 360. So first of all, on your toe side jump, there's really not too much to talk about because it's really good already. It's really good. So I wouldn't worry too much. There's one small thing I noticed in your approach that we could clean up, and that's going to help you with your stability. So let's take a look at that real quick. So when you edge out and then start to edge back into the boat, in your transition between your heel side and your toe side, and this is pretty common, you get on your toe side edge too hard, too fast, and then you're forced to flatten off, and this just kind of throws some inconsistencies in there for you. So you'll watch it right here. You kind of crank in on your edge and then flatten off again, and then you have to get on it again once more right before the wake so that you can edge all the way through the wakes. So let's hop back to this again, but let's look at it in a little bit slower motion so we can see what's happening. Alright, so watch how much of the bottom of the board you can see. That tells us how hard you're edging. So you're going to edge really hard right here. We can see a lot of the bottom of the board, and then it flattens out again, and then it gets hard again. It's really subtle, which is why you're still able to get a lot of height. I mean, you even go past the wake, but the rolling down the windows in the air just comes primarily from this quick edge and then release and then start edging again. So it's just inconsistent. It's probably a habit you never noticed, where you start edging hard and then you back off and flatten off right here, and then you edge hard again. And you can kind of see it if you're looking for it, but that's why it feels a little inconsistent. Everything else is nice, so just clean that up and it'll really help. A video you can watch to help clarify the steps for this is called Toe Side Jumps, the Perfect Setup. And let's just watch this one time through real quick. You'll see Kyle, he'll do one good edge out, and then his edge back in is super smooth and progressive. So just watch how he is really mellow, starts leaning, and keeps that lean all the way through the wake, and that prevents him from flailing in the air a little bit. Again, real simple. You're pretty much there, but just watch this video to review Toe Side Jumps, the Perfect Setup, and you should be good to go from there. So let's go back to your 360 now. Your 360 honestly looks good. It looks like you've got great fundamentals. The biggest issue I see on your 360 is you're trying to spin mostly with your upper body. So right here, if we are to pause, you'll notice your hand comes off the handle pretty quick. Right there. It's hard to tell, but this little kind of white speck there is your hand, and this is the handle. So your board is still in the wake, and your hand is already off the handle, and your chest is already starting to face the direction that you're turning, which means that your board is actually further behind your spin than your upper body is. And you'll see this kind of get even more exaggerated. You're using this arm to really throw your momentum around. Again, your board is still in the same position, just barely left the wake, and I can see a lot more of your chest now. Again, you're almost completely facing the wake, and the board is barely moved. So what that's going to do is it's going to give you a lot more line tension, because your upper body is kind of moving away from the boat, trying to aggressively get into the spin. And it's going to make it really hard for the line tension to ease up on you when you're really getting aggressive with your upper body. Additionally, your board is going to be rotating a lot slower, so your upper body is going to finish the spin and want to keep going, and your lower body, the board, is going to take a while to catch up, and it's going to make it real inconsistent. Even if you had the rope in your hand here, the handle in your hand here, you would keep rotating and fall back over your heels. It's just a really natural thing to do to over-rotate this 360. So again, it's not bad. You're on the right track. But we just got to get your lower body initiating the spin instead of your upper body. So you'll see, again, you just took your hand off the handle and you're still pushing. and then your upper body gets real after it, your lower body stays behind, and then look how tight this line is. That's what's going to make it real hard for you to get the handle, especially right at the end there. Alright, so I want to show you a couple examples of a lower body initiated 360 rather than an upper body initiated 360, so you can see what I'm talking about. So we did some boat testing here at Wakeboarding Mag, and this is some footage of me doing a heel side frontside 360, and I do two different ones. So one of them is a handle pass, heel side frontside 360, and then the other one I just don't even pass the handle. And in both of them, I just want you to see how far behind my upper body is in the rotation. So you'll see as I'm edging in here, watch how patient. Granted, I throw a grab in there, so I do let go kind of early. But if we could catch that, I'll even compare. You can see the spot where I take my hand off the handle. It's right there. And you can see my thumb there. And this, I'm already fully out of the water, a couple feet off the water already, and at this point you'd be turned a lot further than I was. So again, you can get up to kind of this 180 point, and the board and your chest is all facing kind of the same direction, but then it's the first half of the spin you can be really patient with, and the second half of the spin you really want to push your lower body through. So you'll notice that now my chest is still kind of facing this shoreline, and then my lower body is starting to continue to spin. And then I land, I don't even pass the handle yet, but my chest and head are all looking back toward my landing. And that keeps me from over-rotating. Again, I don't think you need to do this without passing the handle, but it just gives you an idea of how far behind you can keep your upper body in the rotation. So this is another one where I pass the handle, and you'll see what I do at the end. I almost over-rotate this, so I have to use the handle to stop my rotation, and you'll watch how I really force my upper body to stay behind in the spin. So nice and patient on the way up, and then I push my lower body through the rotation, get the handle, but you can see I'm still keeping my eyes back here on the wake. And then right there, you'll see I push the handle towards shore to get some extra tension in it. And this is going to stop me from rotating. I'm trying really hard right now to keep my upper body to stay a little bit under rotated so I don't slip out over my heels and over rotate the trick. That just kind of stops me in the right position so I can land. So hopefully that makes sense. Now let's go back to yours and we'll watch one more time of where kind of your upper body is in relation to the rotation. So right away you get into it with your upper body, you get your shoulders kind of away from the boat, and at this point that's where the handle gets away from me a little bit. And then let's see if we can go back here real quick. So your upper body, I know this, you're kind of falling on this, but your upper body is whipping back around and looking at the boat again. If you can hold your upper body behind and keep it looking behind you, right here when you spot your landing, you want to keep it there. You want to stay looking toward the wakes instead of all the way back at the boat, and that'll help clean that up a lot. Another thing that you can work on with the line tension is it's well demonstrated here in Ben Greenwood's mute heel side frontside 360. So you'll watch Ben's arms. So here's another thing, and Ben does it a little different. He's kind of got his own habits built in here, and he's able to do it well. But when I first teach people, I like to tell them just to let the handle out a little bit. You'll watch him keep the handle in, and then he'll let it out again, and then bring it in again. So you don't have to do the first part where you keep it in and then let it out halfway in, because that just adds an extra variable. Like I said, Ben's already, this is just kind of ingrained in his habits, and he's able to do it really well. But you can keep the handle out a little further on your approach. So you'll watch here, Ben lets it out. And right here, so look at the distance between the handle and his hips. You'll see there's a little bit of a distance between his handle and his hips. And then when he stands tall at the wake, the handle and his hips get a little bit closer together. And what that's going to do, just by naturally letting the handle out and then standing tall at the wake, what's going to happen is you're going to be naturally advancing toward the handle, whether or not you're thinking about really pulling. I don't want you to try and pull on the handle. I just want you to let the handle out a little bit, and then when you stand tall, you're naturally going to be bringing your hips in, and then that's going to advance you toward the handle, toward the boat, allowing a little bit of slack in the line so you can pass the handle. But as far as that goes, you're doing pretty good. We just got to get that lower body to slow down. So here's a drill that I'll have you practice, this building a foundation hillside frontside 360 video. They help you learn how to get your lower body initiated through the spin a little bit faster. And it's not necessarily that you need to do it faster, but it's a drill that helps get your head through the 360 and get the handle pass comfortable, and then get your lower body to do most of the work. There's a bit of an ollie 360 involved here, just on the surface, that you can practice. And it seems really simple, and you're already really far along with your 360, but practicing this drill is surprising how much it really helps you. So I would work on this drill a little bit and then return to that 360. And in your 360, a couple things to think about is, one, when you edge into the wake, I would let the handle out just a hair, and then when you pop at the wake, I would wait. I wouldn't throw that other arm around at the handle. I would pop up and wait a little bit, and then try and push your lower body through the rest of the 360, just like in that instructional video that I had you watch. That's about it. Hopefully that answers your questions. If you have any further questions, you can hit us up down here in the comments, or you can apply the things that we mentioned today, and you can upload another video with other issues you may be experiencing, and we can get those worked out as well. Thanks so much.